요즘에는 이제 슬슬 본격적인 원서 시즌도 시작이 되고, 우리 90학년들 멘토링하는 학생들도 이제 여름방학 중간 뭐 보고서 작성이 매일마다 한 건씩 아침에 처리를 하려고 하는데, 이게 서류 작업하는 일들이 조금 있으니까 에세이도 이렇게 좀 집중을 해서 읽어야 되고 하니까, 일찍 가서 사무실 조용할 때 아무도 없을 때 한 2시간 읽으면은 속도가 엄청 빨라지거든. 그래서 좀 일찍 나가는 날이 점점 많아지고 있습니다. 반갑습니다. 계획 변경. 일단 문서 작업을 좀 하려고 했는데, 아침에 생각을 해보니까는 조용해. 아무도 없어. 사무실에 아무도 없고 조용. 너무 좋아. 너무 조용해가지고 그냥 비디오를 찍어 놓고 그 다음에 내 할 일을 하는 게 낫겠다 해서 한 10분만 비디오 찍고 출발하기로 했습니다. 자, 우리가 칼리지 레프레젠테티브들을, 이 대학교를 다니고 있는 학생들 또는 갓 졸업한 졸업자들, 미국의 좀 톱 학교들 출신들을 섭외를 해서 우리 멘토링 프로그램 컨설팅을 하는 학생들과 같이 미팅을 웨비나를 해서 만나가지고 고등학교 때 경험은 어땠는지, 어떤 액티비티를 했는지, 어떤 꿈을 가졌는지, 어떤 시기에 SAT 준비는 했는지, 또 좌절은 있었는지, 그걸 어떻게 극복했는지, 자, 이런 것들을 좀 물으면서 우리 학생들에게 동기부여도 주고 좀 자극도 주고, 우리 내부 컨설팅 할 때 썼던 인터뷰 자료에서 갖고 온 건데, 오늘은 아주 기본적인 것만 여러분들 유튜브에도 공개를 해서 소개를 해볼까 합니다. 콜롬비아를 졸업하고 메케니컬 엔지니어링을 나와서 로켓 사이언스, 보통 우리가 얘기하는 이 로켓 사이언스를 하는 분 해가지고 얘기하는데, 정말 로켓 사이언스 회사를 다니고 로켓 사이언스를 연구하고 계속 그쪽으로 일을 하고 계신 분이야. 여러분들도 이런 비디오 보면서 나도 콜롬비아 가고 싶은데, 콜롬비아 나온 사람들은 저런 마인드와 저런 어떤 카리스마까지 있구나를 생각해서 보시면 도움이 될 겁니다. 출발.
Okay, so why don't we just dive right in? Let's start with the very first question, which is very simple. Which college did you attend?
Yeah, I attended Columbia University in New York City.
Okay, cool. And what was your major in college?
I majored in mechanical engineering.
Awesome. And that falls within which school?
SEAS, which is the School of Engineering at Columbia.
Gotcha. And if you could name, I guess, a few things or anything at all, were there some things that you liked about your college in particular?
I think the appeal with Columbia is pretty widely agreed upon in that it's a campus school, a school with a campus that is also in what I think a lot of people would consider, one of the best cities in America, New York City.
Yeah.
A ton of opportunities there, obviously, both socially and connection-wise, but also academically as well. And I think I agree with that. I had a lot of fun there, and I enjoyed my time in New York City as well. So I think that's probably the single biggest one I could think of.
Right. And was there anything unique that you found to be, I guess, well, you mentioned the appeal of New York City, but like, was there anything in particular that you experienced that was memorable about New York City?
Yeah, I think there's so many opportunities to socialize and to connect with people
Hmm.
that aren't in your immediate school community. I think that's a big one. And not only that, the people that you do have the opportunities to connect with end up being what super different from, the people that are normally around you, or people that you've probably got used to spending time with prior to college, I guess.
이 extracurricular activity 중에서 만약에 물으신 분들이 있으세요. 뭐가 대학 갈 때 제일 도움이 됐냐 하면, 저는 다른 것들은 다 비슷해요. 운동을 해도 똑같고, 뭐 인디비주얼 스포츠를 하냐 팀 스포츠를 하냐 뭐 그런 거 차이 없었던 것 같고. 많은 사람들이 궁금해 하시는 부분 중에 하나가, 과연 콜롬비아를 붙으면 얼리로 붙었을까, 레귤러로 붙었을까? 자, 요런 출신의 사람들이 어떤 고등학교 사이즈, 작은 사이즈 아니면 큰 사이즈, 시골에 있는 학교 아니면 도시에 있는 학교, 보통 학교들이 어떤 칼리지 매트리큘레이션 파워라고 할까? 그 진학률을 가진 고등학교 출신일까가 궁금하실 것 같아요. 그래서 요 다음 부분들은 그걸 한번 묶어봤으니까 관심 있게 봐주시고, 자, 요
Whenever you applied to colleges, I guess which ones did you end up being accepted to?
I was going to apply to a lot, but I ended up only applying to Columbia, and I got into Columbia because of the early decision. So that was my only one I had to apply to.
Gotcha. So lucky in some respects, but also
Yeah.
earned. Um, Okay, in that case, tell us a little bit more about your high school.
Yeah, it's called Timberline High School in Idaho. It's I would say a medium-sized public high school, nothing special.
Hmm.
It was one of the two major high schools in the area, the other being Boise High School, which is a little bit more academically inclined. Our
Hmm.
school, I think, is it was closer to me, so it was easier, but also it was a little less academically inclined than I think.
Right,
Um, the other school, and also maybe most of the other schools that some of the students at 앤디프랩 might be used to. But
right.
yeah, it was a pretty standard, stereotypical sort of high school in Idaho. So a lot of majority white,
Yeah.
predominantly white, suburban. Yeah.
About how many students were in your class, just out of curiosity?
In my class, 400 maybe. I think the total high school population was a little over 1,000.
Okay, okay, that's a decent size. And when you say it's not particularly academically inclined, about, I guess, on average, how many students went to, I guess, like top 20 universities?
Yeah, I think the academic thing actually kind of started to shift a little bit
Hmm.
around my generation, my class, as you could call my cohort.
Yeah.
Prior to sort of uh, my class going into that school and graduating,
Hmm.
I think there were only maybe like three, four, maybe five students that had ever gone to any top 20 university in the history of that school.
Oh, wow.
And then starting from my year and some of the friends that I had, we
Yeah.
all kind of, I guess, in a way, sort of drove each other to work a little harder, a little friendly
Right.
competition kind of thing.
Yeah.
My year was maybe the first year where there was like a, I don't know, breakthrough. I think there were a couple kids that went to Dartmouth, a kid or two that went to like uh, Duke. There was
Mhm.
no MIT. There wasn't Harvard. There was Penn. So like maybe 5 to 7 more kids.
자, 그 다음에는 뭐 학교가 랭킹을 했나는데 랭킹을 했다 그랬어. 넘버 2인데 넘버 1이랑 0.0, 1점 차인가 뭐 막 이런데 그거 다 넘어가고 다른 거 넘어가고. 다음 질문이 AP는 몇 개 들었나요? 뭐 SAT는 ACT는 몇 점 받았나요? 부터 한번 짚고 넘어가 봅시다. 공부 일단
I might be one or two off, but I took probably 20 APs, maybe 21, because I took one or two in ninth grade before most of the students could
Right.
uh, by sort of doing accelerated things. So I would spend like a little bit of my day at the high school when I was technically in junior high.
Hmm.
And then I did 6, 7, 6 or something like that.
Hmm.
6, 7, 7 maybe. So like, yeah, 21 around there maybe.
Gotcha. And I'm guessing that's the maximum or maybe even more than maximum at your school?
Yeah, I'd figure. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. And as for your test scores, your SAT and ACT, what were your highest?
I took each one once.
Hmm.
Took the SAT first. I got a 1560 on that. And
Hmm.
then I took the ACT, I think the year after that, and I got a 36. So.
Okay. That's super impressive. And did you study a lot, or what was your sort of approach?
I self-studied a lot for the SAT.
Mhm.
I think before that, a lot of the academic stuff I was doing, it was like a mix of help with people around me and stuff like that, and
Right.
also tutors occasionally. But the SAT was one thing that I just kind of wanted to do myself.
Hmm.
I thought it felt like it was something I could do, so I self-studied for that a lot.
Yeah.
Um, maybe maybe 4 months-ish, 5 months-ish of self-studying, use a lot of different prep books as well, took a lot of
Yeah.
practice tests. And that, yeah, that's how I got that. And then ACT, I was feeling a lot more confident in my abilities
Right.
personally. And I also personally thought the test was easier when I took a couple practice tests. So
Yeah.
I had to study a lot less. I studied maybe, I don't know, like a month or something like that, and I went through that.
Gotcha. Okay. And why did you actually end up taking the ACT? Was there a
Um,
reason?
More the merrier, I guess.
자, 그리고 이 인터뷰를 했던 40분 영상을 다 틀어줄 수는 없으니까 건너뛰고 했던 extracurricular activity, 고등학교 때 어떤 특별 활동을 했는지를 다는 아니지만 탑 베스트 3, 베스트 3가 무엇인가를 물어본 영상이 있으니까 그거 한번 보고
to do
넘어갑시다.
a lot of stuff with her, but
Mhm.
I did a couple things just within the scope of that.
Yeah.
I don't want to say class because it was outside of class, but with that
Right.
teacher. So I did a research project where I would do research. I did research with a couple other classmates on Snake River water quality. Snake River is like the main river flowing through Boise, and it's pretty important to general Idaho agriculture and stuff like that. So we were measuring the Snake River water quality upstream and downstream of major feedlots and livestock farms and stuff like that to see whether certain practices were altering water quality and if there were ways to mitigate that. So I did a research on that and then made a poster and then presented it at a conference at the local university conference. Also, we had like more smaller projects like solarizing the school, adding solar panels, and doing more outreach things like radio and stuff like that for
Yeah.
climate change and reusability and stuff like that. A lot of general stuff with AP Environmental Science. And then moving on, secondly, I was big into music, like I kind of mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
I specifically did band. I played clarinet.
Yeah.
I started junior high, maybe like 7th grade. I got it fit my sort of style, I guess, kind of well. So I ended up being pretty good at it.
Yeah.
I did a lot of solo competitions. Like I routinely got like top 3 in my region, top 3 in my state.
Yeah.
I did a lot of like all-state band, which is like, you know, the best in the state play in one ensemble. And I was I did all-state band like all 3 years of high school, and all 3 years I was the principal, the first clarinet. So
Yeah.
and then ended up doing
넘어서 마지막 여러분들한테 보여주고 싶은 제일 중요한 메시지는 본인 생각에 대학에 콜롬비아를 합격을 했는데 왜 합격을 한 것 같으냐에 대한 질문을 한 적이 있어. 우리가 그 내용이 조금 중요한 것 같고, 우리 여기 컨설팅 멘토링 프로그램을 할 때도 학생들한테 자주 하려고 그러는데, you have to build this chemistry between you and your teachers. 이 relationship, 관계와 선생님과의 그 어떤 그 쫀쫀한 뭔가가 진짜로 퓨어하게, 자연스럽게, 순수하게 여러분이 과목, 선생님들이 가르쳐 과목을 즐거워하고 배우는 거에 재밌어 해야지, 마지못해서 막 시키는 숙제를 하고, 자 이렇게 되면은 나중에 어떻게 돼? 추천서를 받을 때 결국에는 추천서가 우리가 3장이 들어가야 되잖아. 카운슬러, 선생님 2명. 이 2명의 이발리에이션이 달라진다. 추천서는 글만이 아니야. 평가 항목이 있는데 그 평가 항목이 달라진다는 거를 여러분들이 꼭 기억을 했으면 좋겠습니다. 한번 들어봅시다.
I guess the relationship I had with my environmental science teacher was really strong. We kind of, the moment I sort of first talked to her when I had her to class, I thought she was super cool. She, I guess, appreciated that I was actually, you know, paying attention and was super interested in the class and had more of like a curiosity beyond it. So she was pretty happy to hand me all these different opportunities. I think it helped that she was super passionate about the environment and, you know, climate change and you know, renewable energy and things like that, to the point where she was actually sort of like fighting with the school board and like the local government a lot of the time, because Idaho is pretty Republican and they're not nearly as into those policies as she was. So she would constantly be fighting. And it was, for me, it was cool to see someone like that, like as a teacher. And also I think, you know, as passionate as she was, she saw, you know, some sort of curiosity in me as well. So I did a ton of stuff with her, whether that was like, you know, that
그렇다니까 선생님이 중요하다. 좋은 선생을 만나는 것도 여러분들의 인복이야. 하지만 학교에서 수업을 하다 보면은 한 6과목 듣잖아, 예를 들어서. 그럼 6과목 중에 한 2명은 별로 못 가르쳐. 재미도 없어. 그게 괜찮아. 다 그래. 대학교 가도 약간 그래. 한 6과목 들으면 한 학기에 한 2명의 교수님은 여기서 어떻게 가르치고 있지? 어떻게 이런 대학교의 교수님이 되셨을까? 하는 생각이 들 정도로 그냥 그래, 나랑 안 맞아. 괜찮아. 그래도 공부는 열심히 하고 과제는 잘해야 돼, 여러분. 자, 이런 비디오가 여러분들에게 뭐 동기부여가 되고 약간 자극이 되고 마음가짐을 새로이 하고 신학기 시작할 때 도움이 됐으면 해서 한번 만들어봤고, 이 비디오 말고도 우리 채널에서 찾아 들어가면은 한 수십 개 있습니다. 앞에서 했던 사람들의 선배들이 저 정도 하고 저런 대학을 가는구나 영상을 그냥 1번 비디오부터 쭉 보셔도 도움이 될 것 같다라는 마지막 홍보 멘트를 하면서 선생님 다음 시간에 뵈니까 학생 여러분들 방학 마무리 잘하고 신학기 준비 잘해야 됩니다. 다음에 봅시다. 바이바이.